Hello, everybody. Hello, Nana Laura. Hello, C-Rex. I almost took tonight off, and then I was like, no, it's the weekend. I gotta stay up for C-Rex. Hello, Catherine Gaston. Hello, Charlie. So good to see you guys. Oh, you guys, I thought I was missing people. I'm seeing all these names and you asking where everybody is and here I'm thinking I'm missing people, and then I actually read what the names were for. You're just missing them. Oh, goodness. Well, we've got Judge Lee tonight and his twinsies. So yeah, I don't know how this happened, but it's like triplets on the screen, and then there's just poor Jay Regier sitting there like wondering, is this my fate? Hello, Eileen E. Carlin. By the way, thank you so much. I saw that you made a contribution to the GoFundMe, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone that has. I'm thinking I'm going to contact the local news station in Baraboo and see if they'll come out and talk about it. Hello, Spider-Man. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Oh, Ava, speaking of cute, then there's you. Oh, my neighbor fixed her collar. So the collar that Palmy sent her, she pulled it right out of this part here. Just pulled it right out. And my neighbor fixed it. He put a couple of screws. There were 2 screw holes, threaded and everything for screws, but they didn't have screws in them. And there was like no adhesive or anything. So he put screws in and epoxy, and he's like, he handed it back to me, and he's like, that should be good. And I'm like, those screws are kind of sharp, and they're right on her fur. He's like, oh, I got it. And he took it back and he ground the screws down flat. So now she has her Seahawks collar back on. Yay. I got her this El Cheapo Walmart one. But I don't trust it. It was like $1.67. I don't trust it. Oh, quit farting on my leg. Go. Get. Go. Nope. We're done. Nope. No, not under the desk. Ow. No. No. Oh my. The gift that keeps on giving. Hello, Margot. Hello, Sandy-Eard. Hello, Evie. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't want her to fart on my leg. That's not okay. But that's what Ava does. I'm gonna take, I think tomorrow, because tomorrow I am absolutely going to Baraboo. I have help coming. And I think if I'm not completely wrecked, which I probably will be, so this is pipe dreaming me, but the next project that I have is I need to take my desk completely out of my bedroom, like 100% out, and steam clean underneath it, because that's something that didn't get done when I did the whole bedroom. And Bandit, after I took the frame out from under the bed and made it so she can't go under there, I found a little poop graveyard right here. And so of course she's peeing. And yeah, so I need to take my desk out completely and steam clean this whole section right here, because I'm just not okay with that, not at all. So I love her. She's my favorite because she was my mommy and daddy's baby. But she is not a cat for a house of cats. She is a one cat household where the cat is her. But yeah, she's gonna have to find a way. I'm gonna have to find a way to help her find a way. I'm gonna put, as soon as this dries, because I cleaned it as best I could, but as soon as it dries over here, I'm gonna put a cat box here, a small one for her. We'll see how that goes. So why can't things just work out? Why does everything got to be trial and error of life? I don't know. I don't get it. I just want smooth sailing. We'll see. We'll see how that works out for me. All right, guys, let's go watch some Kansas. We need a Kansas pick-me-up.
Next matter is State of Kansas versus Joshua Cole. We have Mr.
He's in
Cole
custody,
there.
Judge. Deputy?
I don't know if at the jail they have our docket, but it looks like it's alphabetical on the last names. So if they want to get people lined up, the next case after this would be Nikki Davis.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Case number is 24 TR 103. If parties would state their appearances, please.
Darren Regier on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Joshua Cole. Mr. Cole does appear from the Butler County Detention Facility. Your Honor, this is a case where he is charged with driving while suspended, B misdemeanor, and count 2, no proof of insurance, B misdemeanor. Pursuant to plea negotiations, I would announce at this time, Mr. Cole will plead guilty to count 1, driving while suspended, class B non-person misdemeanor. At the time of sentencing, Your Honor, there is an agreed recommendation to the court, and that agreed recommendation would be a $100 fine, court costs for the court to determine court-appointed attorney fees, a 60-day controlling sentence, and a 6-month non-reporting probation.
Mr. Regier, is that your understanding?
That is the state's understanding, Your Honor. I would also note for the record, it would appear the defendant appeared in the same fashion that he does today previously at a first appearance setting before Chief Judge Rickey on July 9th. The state is not opposed to the court ordering credit for time served if the court determines that such an order is appropriate in this matter.
Mr. Cole, have you heard what the attorneys have told me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that with the plea of guilty, you would be waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you had ample time to discuss this with Mr. Patterson?
I have, sir.
You understand that while there's a recommendation of sentence, the court is not bound to follow that.
I understand, Your Honor.
And that for a count one for driving while suspended, it could be the maximum penalty is 6 months in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $1,000.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. With those things in mind, are you pleading guilty to count one at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody forced or coerced you in some fashion to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. And are you under the influence of any medications or intoxicants, anything that makes it difficult for you to think clearly?
I am not, Judge.
Very well. And let's see here. The party stipulating to a factual basis.
We would so stipulate to the affidavit in the case, Your Honor, and would stipulate there is a sufficient factual basis contained therein.
Does the state agree?
The state would so agree, Your Honor, if the court wishes. The state is prepared to supplement the record pursuant to the certified driving record, although I'm not sure that is necessary given the nature of the plea here today.
And I have located the affidavit. I'll accept the stipulation and find there is a factual basis. I do find the defendant guilty based upon his plea with the advice of good counsel. I will hear and the remaining counts are dismissed pursuant to the agreement with prejudice. So I'll hear any additional statements that counsel wish to make at this time. If you do, Mr. Regier.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Patterson.
Thank you, Judge. We would just ask the court to adopt the recommendations. I can tell the court after talking to my client who does have employment waiting for him, that is waiting for him until Monday. If the court would give him probation, he does have that job waiting for him. He's also worked out transportation for purposes of going to his employment. I received an email from a Melissa Craig, who's a friend of his, has her phone number, email address, and she has would tell the court through the email that she will make sure he has rides to work. Further, that my client would be able to pay this case off immediately if the court would accept this and accept the request for probation.
How much time has he served in jail at this juncture? Does anybody know?
Judge, the jail sheet shows he went in on July 7.
All right. Mr. Cole, is there any statements that you'd like to make before I pronounce sentence?
I prepared something I can read.
If you
If I
wish
may.
to, that's fine.
First of all, Judge, I want to start out by saying that I apologize for wasting the court's time and the taxpayers' money. I didn't understand the severity of the charges, but I assure you that you have my full attention now. If granted probation today, my plan of action is to conclude this matter, is to move in with my girlfriend, Melissa Craig. I've not been forthcoming with Mrs. Craig about my legal issues in the past, but she is up to par now, and she's watching from Zoom. She's an employee of the SBA hospital here in El Dorado and has been since 2025. Her and I have been dating off and on since 2018. She's agreed to help me get through this and get my license back. And she's also assisting me in getting back and forth to work until my restricted driver's license can be obtained. I have a really good job at Hall's Trim Services going on my second year. Mr. Hall is eagerly awaiting my return. However, he has informed me that if I don't get out today, that he'll have no choice but to replace me, and he can't wait any longer. Lastly, I have a new grandson, Silas Alexander Cole, that I think the world of, and I'm eager to get back to. I can assure you that I have a whole life to lose if I screw this up, Judge, and I promise and solemnly swear that the aforementioned reasons I've given are exactly why I will not. I've spoken with friends, family, and coworkers and arranged for rides and backup for Mrs. Craig for scheduled conflicts. I have an excellent support system in place, and if granted probation today, I can assure you I will conclude this matter as quick as possible. Again, I can pay off any and all fines today if released. And I That's all I've got, Your Honor. Thank you.
You say you've had this same job for 2 years?
I'm starting my, yes, going on my second year, yes.
Okay, well, when you say going on your second year, does that mean you've been employed for 2 years or 1 year and starting your second?
1 year starting my second.
Well, starting this hearing off with word playing the judge, he doesn't like that.
All right. Well, Mr. Cole, you made a very nice statement, but I'm looking at the notes here, and it reflects there's 4 times that you failed to show up for court, including as recently as June the 16th.
I think I spoke with you. So I had a judge on the 16th. Before that, I didn't know I had to be here in person, so they gave me a login and a password. So when I went on there, they told me that I had to be in person. So I waited on Zoom court for like 2 hours that day, and finally I called the courthouse and they said, yeah, you have to appear. And Judge Ricky gave me a no bond hold, and I talked to you after that, and you took off the no bond hold and gave me the court date of June the 16th. I was coming to court on June the 16th. I didn't have a ride, so I just took the chance and drove myself, and I got pulled over on the way to court from Officer Peniston, and that's why I wasn't in court on June the 16th. I was here. But
You were picked up on with a charge of driving while suspended on that day?
Yes, sir. But I thought it would be better to take the chance and drive than to miss court.
Well, Mr. Cole, I'm going to sentence you. Anything further before I pronounce sentence?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to sentence you to a $100 fine. That's a mandatory minimum. I am going to set this or order the court costs and attorney's fees. All counsel is still the $250, or has that been altered by administrative order?
It has been affirmed that it will remain $250.
Okay, so that's the administrative order on what the attorney's fees are going to be. With as many appearances as people had to make, and you missing most of them or not, I'm in regards to the recommended sentence, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to order that you have a 6-month jail sentence. You'll get credit for any time you've served. Based upon your history here, my judgment would be that I don't think you're going to do what you're ordered to do. Because you've been told many times, show up for court, and 4 times you haven't.
I can assure you, Judge, I understand the magnitude of the situation now, and I promise you, I will not screw around anymore.
Mr. Cole, if you didn't understand the first 3 times you were arrested, I don't know why you would, your memory's going to be so much better now.
Because I served time in jail now.
Well,
I suffered enough, Your Honor.
Well, I don't know about that. Like I say, I'm going to give you a 6-month sentence. I'm going to place you on reporting probation instead of non-reporting. You indicated you can pay off your case. You have to do that. I want that paid off within 30 days, if not before.
I'll do that today.
And I will give discretion to the court services of how often they want you to report and how they want you to report, but it'll be a reporting. And sir, I'll make it about as plain as I can be. You come up on a revocation where you're skipping out on things, or you didn't take care of your obligations, or new law violations besides that one driving while suspended. Do you have any other pending matters?
No, sir.
Good. But count on that 6 months minus whatever time you served, because I'm not impressed here. All right. So you're getting your chance.
Okay.
but I expect you to be good on what you're promising.
I assure you, Your Honor, I will.
All right. Anything further, counsel?
Your Honor, is the court saying a specific length as to the reporting probation? Is that subject to all standard conditions?
Standard Butler County misdemeanor conditions, yes.
And the length, Judge?
I'll set that also. Well, I'll set it at 7 months. If everything's paid and he's in good stead with probation, after half of his time has been served, I will consider, if the court services officer recommends it, I'll consider closing it early. But, and like I said, I'm going to give them full discretion of how they want him and how often they want him to report. So I would think that if he's making good efforts and doing things at the beginning, they may give him a little bit more latitude than they otherwise might. So, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Cole.
Thank you, Your Honor.
With that, we are adjourned on this matter and he can be processed out. Next matter is State of Kansas versus Sai Jones. Case number 25 CR 17. If counsel would state their appearances, please.
Chair Regier, on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Sai Jones. Mr. Jones does appear from the Butler County Detention Facility Zoom screen. Judge, this is a case where, pursuant to plea negotiations, he is going to plead guilty to count 2, driving while suspended, second, Class A non-person misdemeanor, and also plead guilty to count 4, speeding 93 and a 65, and other counts dismissed. At the time of sentencing, Your Honor, there's an agreed recommendation on count 2, driving while suspended second, of a $100 fine, court costs, court determined attorney fees, probation fee, 120 days controlling, and a 1-year reporting probation with a standard conditions as well as a special condition that he is to write an apology letter to law enforcement in this case. And then on count 3, scheduled fine. Or that was count 4, I apologize. Count 4 scheduled fine.
Okay, so it's count 1 and count 4.
Count 2 and count 4.
Oh, 2. Okay. And Mr. Regier, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. With regard to the special condition of writing an apology letter to law enforcement, this is a case where the affidavit appears to be signed by an affiant who identifies himself as being with the Butler County Sheriff's Office. Additionally, notwithstanding the plea deal currently before the court, count 1 of the information appears to be one count of interference with law enforcement, and that is the basis of the request of the special condition of probation.
All right. Mr. Jones, have you heard what the attorneys have told me?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to discuss this with Mr. Patterson?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
Do you understand that with a plea of guilty, you would be waiving your right to trial?
Yes, Honor.
And do you understand that while there can be recommendations from the parties, the court is not bound to them? On a Class A misdemeanor, you could be ordered to pay, ordered to serve 1 year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's a fine solely on count 4. Counsel, you said that was 93 and a 65?
One moment, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right. It looks like a $177 fine unless there is a work zone or school, those special conditions. I don't see anything that indicates that's accurate or correct. All right. Do the parties stipulate to the factual basis?
Would so stipulate, Your Honor.
I do find there's a factual basis based upon the affidavit in support of the complaint information and the stipulation. Are there any statements that counsel would, so I do find that the plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered with the advice of good counsel. Mr. Mr. Jones, did anybody force or coerce you in some fashion to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medications or intoxicants at this time?
No, sir.
Anything that makes it difficult for you to think clearly?
No, sir. The only thing is my mom, they just diagnosed her with MDS and they're giving her a month left to live. So, I mean, I'm pretty sad about that right now, but I think I'm thinking clearly.
I do find that the plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered with the advice of good counsel. Factual basis, I already made that finding. I will hear sentencing recommendations at this time if there's anything additional.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Mr.
Just
Adler?
briefly, Judge, I would tell the court on his current driver's license status, he's still suspended, but it's only because of one Greenwood County charge or traffic case that he needs to take care of. After that, he would be on a restricted license for a DUI issue.
Okay. Is he, okay, was his license suspended because of the DUI?
His license is currently only suspended because of the sanction D56 from Greenwood County Courthouse case that he has to resolve. He's on restricted on the DUI charge.
Okay, so the parties agreed that the mandatory jail time isn't applicable here other than the 5 days.
That would be the state's understanding, Your Honor.
Yes, that it does not apply, Judge.
Okay, all right. Mr. Jones, is there any statements that you'd like to make before I pronounce sentence?
I would do anything. I would do probation, community service, anything, just not to be in jail while my mom dies.
How long have you been in jail now?
Judge, the jail records show he was checked into jail June 11th.
Mr. Jones, is that the longest you've served in jail before?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation on anything else right now?
No.
Counsel, what is the apology that's being sought in that letter for lying about who he was or to the man whose identity he was trying to use?
Specifically, Your Honor, pursuant to plea negotiations, there would be an apology to the Butler County Sheriff's Office for the events of the incident of January 14th, 2025.
All right. Mr. Jones, is there anything additional you'd like to state before I pronounce sentence?
I'm really sorry about lying about who I was. I definitely won't be writing a letter of apology to him.
All right. In regards to count 4, 93 and 65, I impose a fine of $177. That's the scheduled fine. Looks like this was on 400 at 6:45 in the morning. Where were you going, Mr. Jones?
I was heading to work.
Why so fast?
I was passing a semi going down the hill right there before you go into Leon.
Eastbound or westbound?
I was heading eastbound.
Where is it you work?
Douglas, Kansas.
What's your job?
It's mobile home services. We work all over the place. We work in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Wichita, everywhere. Wherever there's a mobile home park.
It says that in the affidavit that you had 4 open suspensions at that time. One of the oldest being back from 08, but also 2009 and 23.
Right. Those have been dropped.
And it also had a non-extraditable warrant out of Tennessee. Is that taken care of?
That was for the false name that I had given.
Well, he said, okay, so was that under the name that you were given? They were the person that had the arrest warrant?
Yes.
That's what you're telling me?
Yes,
Why
sir.
would you use somebody's name that had an arrest warrant?
I didn't know he did. It's my coworker. It was a stupid thing. I panicked and just gave a coworker's name, and I had no clue what past he had. It was stupid. That's why I'd definitely be writing a letter of apology. I've already apologized to my coworker for it.
As a young attorney, I had a client once who one of his coworkers had taken his license and was using it and would pay it. And I can't remember how many hours I had to try to get that fella's driver's license squared away because of that guy who was using his identity. You seem to have a pretty good familiarity of how to work this.
I don't understand what you mean by that, sir.
Well, I think you understand the system pretty well and how to try to avoid it using a real person's name and driver's license.
I didn't have his driver's license or nothing. I just gave him a name.
All right. So those suspensions that I mentioned, were those the other guy's suspensions or yours?
They were probably his suspensions.
Yeah,
What did
yeah,
you?
Judge, I have his certified driving record from when this case originated, and it does show there are 4 sanctions. But as I review those, it appears one of those is the restriction on his driver's license. And then the Greenwood County case I was telling the court about just a minute ago, and then 2 others that he's already resolved. So basically just one currently, a Greenwood County case.
And you said that was on a DUI?
No, that appears to be subsequent. The DUI was in 2019. That's 2019 CR 181 in Greenwood County.
Okay.
Subsequent to that appears just to be a traffic citation that he hasn't resolved.
Mr. Jones, are you on any sort of probation at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any other pending cases?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So count 4, I sentenced you to a $177 fine. In regards to count 2, the driving while suspended second or subsequent offense, I'm going to impose a $100 fine. I'm going to impose attorney's fees, court costs, and I will order that you write an apology letter, an appropriate apology letter. I'll address who's got to review that here in a moment. All right, Mr. Jones, 2 things. I already told you the one case that reminded me of, and the other is of an individual that was on a stolen motorcycle with an 18-year-old girl in the back running from the cops, at speeds similar to what you're talking about here, 93. I used to practice in front of a judge. You said, when you get up to that speed, you're not driving the car, you're aiming it. And I'm familiar with that section of road, and it isn't safe to do that.
Right. You're absolutely right, Your Honor.
You got a curb coming up and people coming in, eastbound or westbound. I'm going to impose 1 year in the county jail. I will place you on reporting probation for a period of 12 months. I will give you credit for the time that you've served. It'll be a standard probation for Butler County. You'll report as directed. Mr. Jones, I'm going to put it just flat out. You violate the terms of your probation, and you're going to spend the whole year.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because you could have very easily killed anybody on that road.
Yes, I know.
And you're not a kid. You've had this issue with your driver's license for a while. There's no excuse for this.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm sorry about the situation with your mother, but I tell you what, I've met with enough people who lost loved ones in traffic accidents caused by behavior like this that I'm just not making, like I said, I'm granting you the probation standard terms. You'll need to follow up, be in compliance with all of those. You can be processed out today after your court appearance is done. If you need to contact court services today and get lined up, and you'll have your reported, give you a reporting time. The attorney's fees are $250. Probation fee, as the standard probation fee, I believe, is $60, but whatever it is there.
Thank you.
I will order that apology letter. Court services will have to be sure that it's appropriate. And if it is, it can be forwarded on. If the sheriff's office want it or not, court services will contact them about that. But apparently they're wanting it. But counsel, is there anything further I need to address?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Jones, I hope you take me at my word on that, because I will remember this case.
Yes, I promise.
Very well. Good luck to you. And
Thank you.
this case is adjourned. He can be processed out.
It is never a good sign when the judge promises to remember you.
Next case will be State of Kansas versus Jason Leech, case number 24 TR 1197. All right. If counsel would state their appearances, please.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appearing on behalf of Jason Leech. Mr. Leech does appear from the Butler County Detention Facility. Judge, this is a case where Mr. Leech is charged with 1 count, driving while suspended, second or subsequent Class A non-person misdemeanor. Mr. Leech is going to enter a plea of guilty to that charge. Your Honor, at the time of sentencing, there are agreed recommendations. That would be a $100 fine, court costs for the court to determine court-appointed attorney fees, a probation fee, 120 days controlling, and a 1-year reporting probation. Thank you.
Mr. Regier, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Leech, have you heard what the attorneys have told me?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do you understand that with a plea of guilty, you'd be waiving your right to trial?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that while sentencing recommendations are going to be made, the court's not bound to those?
Yes, sir.
You can be sentenced up to on Class A misdemeanor up to a year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not saying that's what the sentence will be. It's just the maximums that the law allows. Has anybody forced or coerced you in some fashion to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Have you had enough time to discuss this with Mr. Patterson?
Yes, sir.
And are you under the influence of any medications or intoxicants at this time?
No, sir.
Anything that makes it difficult for you to think clearly?
No, sir.
Very well. Does counsel stipulate to the factual basis?
Would so stipulate, Judge.
I do find there's sufficient evidence in the affidavit, and with the stipulation, I do find the defendant guilty of, on his plea of guilty of driving while suspended, Class A misdemeanor. Counsel, is this going to, I'm just going to count on counsel to tell me if there's ever a DUI or something where I have mandatory minimums in regards to a sentence other than the 5-day thing.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Well, all right. And there's no other charges, correct?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so I do find that you're guilty, sir, on that. I will hear statements of the parties at this time in regards to sentence. Mr. Regier,
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Patterson.
Judge, just briefly, I would tell a court on his certified driving record, as well as the Kansas driver's license status check I've ran, there are no convictions that are alcohol related. He does have tickets that he has not resolved that are causing the suspension. We would ask the court to adopt the recommendations in this case.
All right, Mr. Leech, is there any statement that you'd like to make before I pronounce sentence?
Yes, sir. I have the arresting officer that picked me up and got me in here, sir, while we were waiting for my wife to come pick up the truck. She actually realized that my suspension was because of unpaid tickets. So she got all the information that I needed so that I could enroll for that deal where I can still drive to work And my wife got that turned in whilst I was in here. So hopefully that could be coming on its way. And I want to try and take care of the situation and get everything fixed, sir.
All right. Looking at the notes here, it looks like you failed to show up for court on 2 occasions. Why is that?
The first one, sir, I was at the hospital. I didn't call him quick enough. The second one, unfortunately, I didn't realize I had a pre-trial deal by Zoom when Judge Webster kept telling me that it was be in court. It was a physical court, not a Zoom court. And I actually, even though I missed the 19th of May, I was actually physically in the courthouse on the 21st at 8 a.m. And I walked in and they told me that I was not on the docket. And then they let me in to go talk with the court clerk. And they also told me that I wasn't on the docket that day, that I needed to contact Mr. Patterson, which I did. And then they said he was going to be in court. And then the next thing I knew, I had another court date for September 15th. And I thought that's where I was supposed to be. It was on accident that I really didn't know I had a pre-trial for the trial, sir. But I did physically show up, which was what I thought I was supposed to do. That was just 2 days late, if that makes sense, sir.
All right. Anything else you'd like to state before I pronounce sentence?
No, sir.
All right. In regards to count 1, I'm going to impose a $100 fine. Court costs, attorney's fees of $250. Counsel, the agreement was what, 120?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to impose a jail sentence of 120 days, 6 months non-reporting probation. Sir, how long will it take you to get these financial things taken care of?
My fees to you, sir, is that what you're talking about?
Well, not to me, to the court.
I'm gonna find out exactly what it is, sir, and get on top of that. Hopefully I could have everything done within the next few months. I need to find out.
Well, it's probably going to be in the
I have it at
neighborhood.
456, Your Honor.
Okay. Thankfully, Mr. Patterson's quick with the math. I don't try to add it up. Public math gives me troubles. But okay.
That's how much I owe. So, may I speak, sir?
Now, just hold on a minute. Let me finish up. Well, with that amount, do you have an idea of how long it's going to take you?
I can have this amount paid in the next month or 2 max.
Okay, I'll give you 60 days to get it taken care of.
Thank you,
If
sir.
it's not taken care of in that time frame, that'll be a violation of your non-reporting probation. So please be sure to get that taken care of. There's no other cases to place him, that I'm aware of for concurrent or consecutive. Please understand, sir, that my just general approach to these, when people are on probation, I'm taking them that they're going to take care of things as they indicate they will and as ordered. And I may very well, if you violate, be prepared to serve your sentence. So that's you got a lot of time yet to go. You'll get credit for the time that you've served, which is, I haven't added it up, but they can add that up and we'll put that in the journal entry. So make sure you have credit for that. Anything further, counsel?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
All right. Mr. Leech, good luck to you. Be sure before you do any driving that your status with them. They may take some action on your driving license because of this conviction today, but be sure that they've got your current address and so forth, so that you be on top of that. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
With that, we are adjourned and you're free to go when you or be processed out.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next case is State of Kansas versus Jean Esther Murphy, 22 TR 2680. If counsel state their appearances, please.
Jared Begier on behalf of the state.
We have Ms. Murphy.
You should be getting seated here pretty quick, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appearing on behalf of Jean Murphy. Ms. Murphy does appear from the Butler County Detention Facility. Judge, in this case, there are certain plea negotiations entered into. Pursuant to those plea negotiations, count 1 speeding is being dismissed. Ms. Murphy will enter a plea of no contest to count 2, the registration violation. At the time of sentencing, there is an agreed recommendation of a $50 fine, court costs for the court to determine court-appointed attorney fees, a 10-day controlling sentence, and a 6-month non-reporting probation. Thank you. And Judge, just for the court's information, jail sheet shows she's been in jail since July 9.
All right. And you say count 2 is operating an unregistered vehicle or with expired tag or plates?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Regier, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Murphy, do you understand that? Well, have you had enough time to discuss this with Mr. Patterson?
Yeah.
And has anybody, well, do you understand that with a plea of no contest, if you'd be found guilty if I find that there's a factual basis,
Yes.
and you'd be waiving your right to an actual trial?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that while there's recommendations to the court on count 2, counsel, is that an unclassified misdemeanor or a B misdemeanor?
State understands it is an unclassified misdemeanor, Your Honor, although.
So that, all right. An unclassified misdemeanor, the maximum penalties are 30 days in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $500. Not going to say that's what the sentence will be, but that will, that's what the maximum penalties are. You understand that while there's recommendations from the parties, the court's not bound to those. You can be sentenced to the maximum sentences.
Yes.
And with those things in mind, are you still pleading no contest to count 2?
Yes.
All right. Does counsel stipulate to the factual basis?
We would stipulate that there is a factual basis for this charge, Your Honor.
Okay. How long has their license or had this license been expired?
Your Honor, the ticket in this matter appears to refer to a stop occurring on August 27th of 2022. And the court comments do appear to indicate a suspension of approximately 2.5 months prior.
And Judge, we have ran a driver's license status check, and it shows that as of July 17, she is valid.
Okay. Ms. Murphy, well, I do find there's a factual basis that there's pleas knowingly and voluntarily entered with the advice of good counsel, and I find her guilty to count 2 on the registration violation, unclassified misdemeanor. Count 1 is dismissed with prejudice pursuant to the agreement. I'll hear any statements that counsel wish to make at this time on sentencing if they so choose. Mr. Regier.
Your Honor, this might be somewhat after the fact, but the state understands or accounts for the defense on the record that the defendant intended to enter a no contest plea. I'm not sure if the court wishes to supplement the factual basis, at least on the issue of jurisdiction.
Based upon the stipulation, I think we covered that.
And I have nothing further, Judge.
Nothing further from the state in that case, Your Honor.
Ms. Murphy, is there any statement that you'd like to make for sentence?
No.
Ms. Murphy, with what you were charged with, I really have a hard time understanding why you didn't just show up and take care of things. It shows here that you failed to appear.
Okay, I can explain.
Hold on, let me count this up here. Okay, I show 5. Somebody called and indicated they were family and that you suffer from dementia. Is that correct?
What? I don't have any family here except for my daughter, and she certainly wouldn't say anything like that. I'm an accountant, for crying out loud.
Mr. Patterson, Any reason why in your conversations I need to be concerned with that?
She's an accountant, for crying out loud. Accountants don't get dementia. How dare you suggest such a thing?
Judge, I have viewed her on video on previous hearings as well as met with her at jail. I don't have any concerns about her mental status.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a note that somebody called and said that, and I, of course, with a phone call, I didn't take the call, but it does reflect that you failed to appear 5 different times, and that's why you had the bond and why it didn't get modified.
Okay, they
for
sent
the
those.
charges.
They sent those warrants to the wrong address. That's why I didn't get them. I never received them. When my sister got the one delivered to Choba Obj in Cedar Woolley, Washington, she downloaded it, texted it to me, and I immediately called the court. Immediately. I never got, they were delivered to where I used to live, and that trailer park has been vacated and is turned into commercial property. It's no longer even there.
Well, ma'am, how those things are normally dealt with when somebody fails to appear and a bench warrant's issued and there's a bond that's issued, when a person gets picked up and they're given, they sign off on a bond, they're given a court date. And so I don't see how this could, all of your 5 appearances couldn't, with that excuse that you're given in regards to
5.
Yes.
I didn't know about any of them until I talked to the bail bondsman in Independence. That's the first I knew of it.
Well, the file reflects that you failed to appear on November the 2nd of 22. There's a $500 an OR $1,000 OR bond was approved. Then you were supposed to be in court March the 20th of 24. So a year and a half later, thereabouts, 500 cash or surety. Then you were supposed to be there on July the 15th of 24. They continued it to.
I never got notice of any of those. Not a one. The place that was delivered to no longer exists. And I told the patrolman the night that he gave me that ticket that was no longer going to be a valid address, that it was turned into commercial property and no one lived there anymore. And he said it wouldn't matter. Famous last words.
Judge, I apologize for interrupting. Would the court
Please.
allow a brief breakout room?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll take you think 5 minutes will be enough?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute recess so there can be a breakout.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, we're back on the record now in State versus Murphy. The appearances are as before. Mr. Patterson, is there anything additional?
Judge, no, I just had a discussion with her about her bonds and that she signed them and there were court dates on the bonds. She does remember having those bonds. She doesn't recall why she didn't appear in court, though.
Very well. Ms. Murphy, is there anything else you'd like to tell me before?
No.
She's currently wondering if she really does have dementia, Your Honor.
All right. In regards to count number 2, I'm going to impose a $50 fine, court costs, attorney's fees in the amount of $250.
God love you.
Oh, I'm not done. But thank you. I have kind of standard speeches I give in regards to different things, and I've said on so many occasions on this registration, I've never given anybody a jail sentence on that yet. So in 5 years on the bench, you're going to be the first. And I'll give you 5 days. I will give you credit for the time you've served. I find that you've served your time. So
God love you again.
Well, hold on. You need to get these things taken care of financially.
I'll pay it today.
All right. I'll give you 30 days to be sure that it's paid.
I'll pay it today.
Well, again, sometimes there's records and things that need to get caught up. But,
Oh, so they might not have the paperwork ready for me to pay it today?
right, that's
Okay.
what I'm concerned with. So,
So wait till Monday?
please just hold off on talking yet.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you 30 days to get it taken care of. Based upon the failure to appear situation, please, write it down, talk with your daughter or whoever you need to in regards to that so that they can remind you and get that taken care of, okay?
So I have to appear again?
No.
Okay. Just be careful.
I
Just
just
want
want
to be sure.
because what will happen is if you don't get it paid, then they're going to suspend your driver's license.
Right.
And then you get picked up and then it's a whole driving while suspended things. I don't know if you've been watching all the other court we've had today, but
No.
it can really get to be a problem for a person, expensive and a lot of jail time. So
Question. Will they have this paperwork ready Monday afternoon?
I don't know. I hope that it will be, but to be honest, I'm not on that end of it. And the clerks take care of it.
So how will I know when it's ready for me to pay?
Contact them on Monday and tell
Okay.
them about the case.
Butler County,
The clerk
the
and
clerk of the district court?
correct. Jen, is there a particular clerk she needs to ask for?
Tell her to ask for the traffic clerk.
The traffic clerk.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, contact Mr. Patterson or show up at the courthouse. Give it if you're going to do that, wait a few more days. I don't know how fast the paperwork gets done. It's Friday afternoon, so sometimes it takes a little
Can't
while
do
to
it
get
today.
paperwork up. Okay.
Yeah,
So, but you
I will
can-
pay it as soon as I can. I mean, as soon as they get the paperwork ready.
Please just wait for me to finish and we'll be done.
Okay.
Okay, so please, so you can be processed out and released. You got somebody picking you up?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Anything further, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. I will, this matter is adjourned and she can be processed out. Thank you. All right, next matter.
Sorry, Your Honor, just to make sure, no probation?
No probation.
All right.
She served her time.
Thank you.
Next matter is State of Kansas versus Aaron Stanfield, 25 TR 893. Is Mr. Stanfield in custody?
He is, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll grab him.
Stanfield?
Your Honor.
All right. Yes?
Can
Jen?
you take a moment and figure out who Galaxy S23 is?
All right. Who's on here where it says Galaxy S23?
Judge, that's
Sir, you're muted. Is that one of your clients, sir?
Desiree West, Your Honor.
All right. He can close it. You may need to address his headwear situation as well before his case is called. So Mr. West, your case will be called after a bit, so you can go ahead and do that, but we needed to know who you were. So thank you. Back to Mr. Stanfield. Counsel stated, did you state your appearances already?
Not yet, Judge.
Okay.
Jerry McGee on behalf of the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Aaron Stanfield. Mr. Stanfield does appear from the Butler County Detention Facility. Judge, in this case, it is a charge of driving while suspended second, Class A misdemeanor, and no proof of insurance. Would announce this time pursuant to plea negotiations, Mr. Stanfield will plead guilty to the driving while suspended second or subsequent. States agreed to dismiss, no proof of insurance. That the agreed recommendation for the court is a $100 fine. Court costs for the court to determine attorney fees and a 6-month jail sentence without probation. He has other cases, including Butler County 25 CR 150. He has a sentencing hearing September 2nd with Judge Crum. Mr. Stanfield believes that he's presumptive prison is going to prison as well as on some other cases, and will have a substantial prison sentence, it sounds like. So we're asking the court to not offer probation, but just that he served the sentence.
Mr. Regier, is that your recommendation, or is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Stanfield, have you heard what the attorneys have told me?
Yes, sir.
And is that correct? You're pleading guilty to driving while suspended?
Yes, sir.
Subsequent? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, please wait until I'm done, so that we don't talk at the same time. You understand, well, have you had sufficient time to discuss this with Mr. Patterson?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that with a guilty plea, you'd be waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
And has anybody forced or coerced you in some fashion to enter this plea?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of any medication or intoxicants at this time?
No, sir.
Anything that makes it difficult for you to think clearly?
No, sir.
You understand that while the recommendation, council can make recommendations on sentence, the court is not bound to that. You could be sentenced up on a misdemeanor up to a year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500. And the court could also order this to run consecutive to other cases that you're serving a sentence on now.
Yes, sir.
All right. Very well. And does council stipulate to the factual basis?
We would so stipulate, Your Honor.
All right. I do find that there is a factual basis based upon the stipulation, and there's an affidavit in the file that would support that as well. So I do find him guilty of count 2, driving while suspended. The other counts are dismissed pursuant to the agreement. And I'll hear counsel at this time in regards to sentencing if you wish to make any additional statements. Mr. Regier?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Mr. Patterson?
Nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Stanfield, is there anything that you'd like to say before I pronounce sentence?
No, sir. I'm just ready to get my life back started again.
Do you have an idea generally of how much time you're looking at on your felonies?
43 months right now. I got 2 more counties to go to.
Very well. I will impose a $100 fine, court cost, attorney's fees in the amount of $250. I will impose a 6-month sentence. I will deny probation. He'll get credit for the time he served on this case. I want to calculate that out in regards to, I'm not sure it's going to make any difference based upon his other need or his other situations, but
Judge, the jail record shows he was booked in April 3rd, 2025.
okay. And that was on a failure to appear in this case.
That I
All
don't
those
know,
others?
Judge.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Your Honor, it would appear that a first appearance was conducted in the Butler County 25 CR 150 case back on August 7th before Chief Judge Rickey. My records indicate that there was not a first appearance conducted in the current case until approximately 2 days ago on July 16th.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like the date of the offense was.
Oh my gosh. After all of that talk about Jay Regier and what he was doing, being preoccupied with his phone, and I just noticed what the closed captioning reads. Oh my, apparently it knew. Oh my, Jay Regier, even the other AI systems are out to get you.
Was February the 10th, of 25. So he'll have credit for on this case to any time that he served since that April date. I'll apply that to this case. It'll be up to the subsequent courts. I'll order this to be concurrent with his cases that he's currently on probation, and any additional things he has, that'll be up to those judges in regards to consecutive or concurrent in the event that he's convicted on anything additional. Anything else I need to address on this matter?
Your Honor, is the court addressing the manner in which this case is to be repaid?
I'm going to, Mr. Stanfield, is there a way that you can get this taken care of anytime soon?
I got to go to prison and I don't have a job right now.
Okay.
I lost everything I own being in here.
All right. I'm going to order that those go to collections after 30 days. If in the event that he comes across something and is able to get it taken care of, that's fine. Otherwise, it'll go to collection. They may also suspend your license, Mr. Stanfield, on that, but it sounds like you've got bigger issues to contend with. So for now. All right. Anything further?
Your Honor,
Yes.
how much jail time was that?
From that April date, they can put it in the journal entry. Mr. Regier, what did you say when that was? Or maybe Mr. Patterson did.
Judge, this case was actually filed on April 22nd. I would think that would be the beginning date.
Okay. So April 22nd, beginning date. Very well. There's nothing further. This matter is adjourned. He can be returned to the Senate. Okay, next matter, State of Kansas versus Joshua Stiles.
Joshua Style.
That case number is 24 TR 309. Counsel would state their appearances, please.
Chair Regier, on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Joshua Stiles. Mr. Stiles does appear via Zoom audio visual from Butler County Detention Facility.
I figured it out. The only time it's closed caption is when it's Jay Regier, and he has it set to Spanish. He's the problem.
Judge, there are two cases here, and I would tell a court pursuant to plea negotiations, Mr. Stiles will enter pleas of guilty in 24 TR 309 to count 1, transporting an oak container, unclassified misdemeanor, and also to circumvention of ignition interlock, Class A, non-person misdemeanor. State has agreed to dismiss the other case, 24 TR 2334. At the time of sentencing, there's an agreed recommendation on count 1, a $200 fine, court costs, the court to determine court-appointed attorney fees, a probation fee, and 120 days controlling. Count 2, $200 fine, 120 days controlling concurrent, 1 year reporting probation.
So it's an open container and the interlock device?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Judge.
And that does have a $200 mandatory minimum, doesn't it? That's the fine recommendation?
The TOC does, yes.
Yes. Mr. Regier, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. With respect to the 1 year reporting probation, the state is respectfully suggesting that is highly appropriate in this case. In reviewing the two cases, it would appear the alleged occurrence dates are within approximately 5 months of each other.
Looks like January 27th of 24. And then the second case was June 15th of 24. But that case is being dismissed, correct?
It's going to plea negotiations, Your Honor, yes.
Right. Okay. All right, Mr. Stiles.
Yes.
Have you heard what the attorneys have told me?
Yes, sir, I have.
Do you understand that with a plea, and counsel, you said guilty? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
But with a plea of guilty to these charges, you would be waiving your right to a trial.
Yes, sir, I do.
Have you had enough time to discuss this with Mr. Patterson?
Yes, sir, we have.
And has anybody forced or coerced you in some fashion to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand that while there's recommendations for sentence, the court's not bound to those. You can be sentenced on a Class A misdemeanor to a maximum penalty of 1 year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
You understand that, well, that's an unclassified misdemeanor, isn't it? So on the count one, the TOC, I believe that is a maximum penalty of 30 days in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $500 with a mandatory minimum of $200.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
pursuant to KSA 8:1599, subsection C, quote, violation of the sections of misdemeanor punishable by a fine of not more than $200 or by imprisonment for not more than 6 months or both.
Okay, thank you. So it's an unclassified misdemeanor with its own sentencing provisions, and I had not looked that up here recently, so thank you for that correction. So, Mr. Stiles, you understand that the court could sentence those consecutive or concurrent, meaning same time?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. Has anybody forced or coerced you in some fashion to enter this plea?
No, sir.
And are you under the influence of any medications or intoxicants at this time?
No, sir, I am not.
Very well. And counsel stipulate to the factual basis.
We would so stipulate, Your Honor.
I do find there that the plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered with the advice of good counsel, that there is a factual basis for the charge. And I do find him guilty to, in case number 24 TR 309 count, or case number 24 TR 2334 is dismissed with prejudice pursuant to the agreement. And I will hear statements of counsel at this time if they wish in regards to sentencing. Mr. McGear.
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Patterson.
Nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Stiles, is there any statement you'd like to make before I pronounce sentence?
Yes, sir. I first of all, I want to apologize for my wrongdoings. I hold myself fully accountable for my actions, and I wanted to let the court know that I've previously, under the supervision of Ms. Sharon Teal, have successfully completed probation without any issues. Your Honor, I'm fully capable, and my intention is to pay the fines, court costs, probation fees, and any other amounts that the court decides to give me. I'm willing to pay and able to pay that in full with a matter of 30, 45 days from the time of this. And Your Honor, I'm just really just want to get this resolved and get it in my past and move forward.
Okay, Mr. Stiles, in the case that you pled guilty to, it looks like you failed to appear 3 times. Why is that?
Your Honor, one time, and it was there was an issue with Zoom, and so I had gotten that reinstated, and then this previous time, I was going through I lost 2 really close relatives, my aunt and my grandfather. The time of the court date, my grandfather was brought home from the hospital and on hospice, and so I stayed with him for the remainder of his life. So like I said, I apologize, but I was just going through some hard times, and I just let the time slip away from me. I wasn't focused on I was focused on spending the last days with my grandfather. And that's, I just spaced the days off. I really did. I just lost track of time, sir.
Well, it looks like you, with the other case, there had been a 4th time that you failed to appear. Then they started having these at the same date.
I can assure you, Your Honor, I will successfully complete the probation and follow any of the conditions that are bestowed upon me. Like I said before, I completed 2 years of probation without any hiccups at all.
When was that?
It would have been in 21 and 22, Your Honor.
Was that on a DUI that you?
No,
Why you had the ignition interlock requirement?
no, sir.
When was that case? One that required you to have the interlock?
I can't recollect, Your Honor. I'm not sure the answer to that question exactly.
How many DUIs do you have?
I don't believe I've ever been convicted of any.
Was that a test refusal for your interlock device?
I believe so, Your Honor. Yes. And I completed I had an interlock for I believe it was I believe I had it for a year and then got it off. And then I sold a vehicle and was planning on putting it in another vehicle, and that was when all of this come about. I currently have and I believe I have to wait a year and then I'll put one in a vehicle as well. But at the time I don't drive. I will be successful with the probation, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Stiles, the thing I got trouble with is your multiple failure to appear. I also had trouble with the idea that in my view, the interlock device is to keep people safe. And not only were you driving without the interlock, you had an open container. So you want to explain that to me?
Well, I wasn't. It was a container that was in the vehicle. I mean, I wasn't under the influence while driving. I just
So then while you're on bond and not showing up, you get another case that's been now dismissed.
that the one that was dismissed, that was the vehicle that I was on my way to put the interlock in that vehicle. That was the morning that I had gotten stopped. I had an appointment that day to get the interlock installed, and because that was the new vehicle that I had just purchased, and they had taken it out of one and was putting it in the other.
Now, I'm just having a hard time understanding how, when you've got a pending case for an interlock device problem, getting behind the wheel with a different vehicle and getting caught again. Again, that case is dismissed with prejudice. How long have you served in jail now?
Coming up on 2 months, Your Honor.
Judge, he was booked in jail on June 4, 2025.
All right. Mr. Stiles, anything else you want to tell me before I pronounce sentence?
No, sir.
In regards to the open container charge, I will impose a fine of $200 and a sentence of 30 days. I will make that concurrent with the the circumvention of an ignition interlock device, which is a Class A non-person misdemeanor. I'm going to impose a $500 fine. I'm going to impose a sentence of 9 months. I will place you on reporting probation for a period of 1 year. That'll be the standard misdemeanor probation for Butler County. It will be reporting. Court costs and attorney's fees are assessed to you as well. I am going to impose the probation fee. Attorney's fees are $250. Council, am I overlooking any mandatory fines or costs there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Not from the state's perspective, Your Honor.
All right. I will permit you to be processed out on this case. Do you have any other pending matters?
No, sir, I do not.
Do you have any other cases that you're on probation?
No, sir, I do not.
Mr. Stiles, it's by a pretty thin margin. I'm not just ordering you to serve your sentence. So I strongly suggest that you be in full compliance. You need to contact court services following this hearing. I will allow them to work out a payment schedule for you to do this. But you are not to drive unless and until you are legally cleared to drive.
Yes, sir.
If you've got restrictions on you, such as an interlock device, that any new law violations will be would be a violation of your probation. So if your probation officer feels, I'll give them some discretion in regards to not only testing. Have you been to any alcohol or drug counseling in the past?
I have, Your Honor, and I plan on doing it again.
All right. Due to the fact that you had an open container at that time, I'm going to order that you do an evaluation and follow through with the recommendations. I'm not sure where that'll fall, but probation will have the right to request testing for you for alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not take any other items that would interfere with a drug test. Anything that's CBC oil or CBA oil or whatever they come up with. If they're advertising as THC or something like that, you need to stay clear of it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
You need to contact court services as soon as you're released. I don't know that when they process you out, if they're already closed, then you need to contact them Monday morning.
Yes, sir.
Before 9 a.m.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And they'll set you up. You should be familiar with the process there based upon what you told me. So
Yes, sir, I am. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
good luck to you.
Thank you.
Anything further, counsel?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
Mr. Stiles, the case is adjourned. He can be processed out.
All right, guys. That was so much fun. There's a couple more cases on it, but I need to get to bed. I got to get up early and get to Baraboo to get that lawn done, and yeah. But I really had to just come spend some time with you guys. You guys are the absolute best. Oh, you kept me laughing. It really did. It did. And if I didn't have to be awake in like 4 hours, I'd totally be willing to stay and do this some more. But I have to at least get a couple of hours so that I can safely drive. I really don't need to end up a defendant on any of these cases in my own show. No. Jimmy James, hello, sweetie. Ditto. I love you guys so much. I had such a great time. You're an hour later. Oh, that's the one that I meant to click on. You're an hour later than I am. It's only 1:17 here. But yeah. I'm gonna cut myself off before I get too dozy. Thank you guys all for coming out tonight. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.